Hey guys, welcome back to Civil Learning Online. And guys, this lecture is going to give the continuation to our lecture which was about the influence line diagram. In the previous lectures, we have learned how to draw the influence line diagram for the shear force, bending moment, reactions at the support, as well as the method of drawing the influence line diagram for the thorough type truss bridge, as well as here in this lecture I will be showing you how to draw the influence line diagram for the deck type girder bridge. I am adding this lecture because the influence line diagram for this type of girder, means deck type girder, is a bit different from those we have studied in the previous lecture, which were about the thorough type girder. So guys, without any further delay, let's get started. And if you haven't liked this video, then do like the video, and let's continue our lecture. And guys, if you have a question that what is the difference between the thorough type girder bridge as well as the deck type girder bridge, then I have already discussed it in the previous video, lecture 12. You can have the link in the description, or you can directly visit the playlist which is named as influence line diagram. There you will have all the lectures based upon the influence line diagram. And without any further delay, let's move toward the solution of this numerical. So guys, here in this question, as you can see that we are provided with the deck type girder bridge and whose height is 4 meter and the span is missing here. Let me provide you the dimension of the span here. So in the question it is already given that we have 6 panels of 3 meter each, and whole span of the girder is going to be 6 times 3, which will be equals to 18 meter. Now let us first draw the influence line diagram for the upper chord member, then lower chord member, then vertical member, and finally the diagonal member. So here I have drawn a straight line here to draw the influence line diagram, and let us first draw the influence line diagram for the upper chord member U1 and U2. U1, U2. And as our upper chord member are compressive in nature, so what we will do here, we will draw the influence line diagram upward to represent the positive sign. And guys, U1 and U2, the force carried by the member U1 and U2 will be brought at L2, node L2. So we need to provide the height for the influence line diagram at this node. So let us join it with the straight line, and then we will find the height of this influence line diagram easily. And here we go. Now after doing this, we can easily compute the height of this influence line diagram, which is going to be this portion multiplied by this portion divided by height and whole span. So here we go, this U1 and U2 span is 3 meter, so 3 times remaining span is going to be 15, and it is going to be divided by height of the bridge, that is 4 meter, and divided by whole span, and the whole span is 18 meter. And this much portion is 3 meter and this much portion is 15, so 3 times 15, and from here we will get 5 by 2. Now guys, time for the upper chord member U2 and U3. So we will write here influence line diagram for the member U2 and U3. And guys, the force carried by the member U2 and U3 will be transferred to the node L3. So we need to draw a straight line, and then we will find the height of the influence line diagram here in this manner. Now join the node and the end of this line on both sides, and after joining we can easily compute the height by multiplying the both span on either side of U3 node, and it is going to be 3 plus 3 means 6 multiplied by remaining portion from this 18 meter is going to be 12 divided by height of the influence line diagram is 4 meter, and the whole span is 18 meter. So from here we will get 4 upon 4, which will be equals to 1, means the height of this influence line diagram u2 and u3 is going to be unity. Now time for the influence line diagram u3 and u4. Now here I am going to draw the influence line diagram for the member u3 and u4. Here is the member and I have drawn a line along this node L4. Here we go. Now let us join it and so that we can easily find the height of the influence line diagram. So here we go. Now it is your turn to tell me the height of the influence line diagram. If you have understood, then you can try, or you can also let me to tell you. So here u3 and u4, here if we see the diagram here u3 and u4, till I am explaining, if you have understood the step of calculating the height of influence line diagram, then you can try it yourself, and those who have not understood, then watch this. Here u3 and u4, the load carried by the member u3 and u4 is transferred at node L4, so I have drawn a straight line along the node L4. Now if we calculate the height, then what we will have here is span 3 plus 3 plus 3 is going to be 9, and span on right side is also of node u4 is also 9 meters, so 9 divided by height of influence line diagram is 4, sorry, bridge is 4 meter and the total span is 18 meter. So on solving this we will get 9 by 8. This is going to be the height of upper chord member u3 and u4. So guys, as you can see, our truss is symmetrical about the vertical member u4 L4, so we do not need to calculate the influence line diagram for the member on the right of this node u4. So this much is up to for here, this much is for the upper chord member. Now we will move toward the influence line diagram for the lower chord member, and first we will draw the influence line diagram for the lower chord member L2 L3, and let us see how we can do this. So guys, here the lower chord member L2 L3 is we all know that the lower chord member of the truss are in tension, and here I will be drawing the tension providing the negative sign, means below this line, as I have drawn the upper chord member which were compressive in nature positive, so here this time tension member will be drawn negative. So L2 and L3, so what we need to do is we have to draw a line along the node L2 and L3 to draw the influence line diagram for the member L2 and L3. So we can write it here as, join this straight line, now here this is the influence line diagram for the member L2 and L3, and we can easily calculate the height of this influence line diagram as, see here, height of influence line diagram and L2 and L3, and we are taking the node influence line diagram at L2, means the height, we are providing the height of influence line diagram here at L2, so we will take this span and this whole span up to here. So we will have here 3 times 15, remaining span is 15, and the span on the left of L2 is 3 meter, so 3 times 15 divided by whole span is 18 meter divided by height, and from here we will get the height of influence line diagram as 5 upon 8. Now after drawing the influence line diagram for the lower chord member L2 L3, it's time to draw the influence line diagram for the lower chord member L3 and L4. So here comes influence line diagram for the L3 and L4, and we have to draw the straight line along this L3. So it is going to be here and downward this straight line. So here we go. Now join the line, and after joining we simply need to calculate the height of influence line diagram, and height is going to be the span up to L3 is going to be 3 plus 3 means 6 meter, so 6 multiplied by remaining span is 12 divided by whole span is 18, and the height of influence line bridge is 4 meter, so we will get here 5 upon 4. This is the height of influence line diagram, sorry it was not visible, and here we get the height of influence line diagram as 5 by 4 for the lower chord member L3 and L4. Now it's time to draw the influence line diagram for the vertical member as well as diagonal member. So guys, till now we have learned how to draw the influence line diagram for the upper chord member and the lower chord member. Now I will be drawing the influence line diagram for the vertical member, and I will be using this same diagram here. So let us first draw a straight line, and then we will draw the influence line diagram for the vertical member U2 L2. So guys, here I have drawn a straight line. Now we are drawing the influence line diagram for U2 L2, means our height of influence line diagram will be along this line. So let us draw another straight line perpendicular to this line, and which represents which is actually below the node L2 and U2 L2. So from here we will draw the height of influence line diagram. And guys, this is the difference for drawing the influence line diagram for the vertical member between the thorough type truss bridge and the deck type truss bridge. If you have a look to the previous numerical, means the numerical based upon the influence line diagram for the deck type throw type truss bridge and here deck type truss bridge, then you will find the difference for drawing the influence line diagram for the vertical member U2 L2. Find the difference in here. So we can now find the height of influence line diagram given as 3 times, means span, means U2 L2 span is 3 meter and then remaining span, so 3 times 15 divided by whole span is 18 meter and the height is 4 meter. So from here we will get height of influence line diagram equals to 5 by 8. Now this was the influence line diagram for the upper member U2 L2. Similarly we will draw the influence line diagram for the U3 L3, and again the let us see how it is done. So guys, here while drawing the influence line diagram for the vertical member U3 L3, what happens, our load changes from tension to compression. What I said, tension to compression, means our influence line diagram will occupy in both position, means on above this line also and below this line also. So here the influence line diagram of this particular question is going to be of this manner. See here. This is our point of L2 and this is the point of L3, and we need to calculate the height of both the triangles here. Now join this and now find the height of this influence line diagram, again the height of this portion. So on finding the height of this portion, we are going to have 12 upon 18, means the span up to here, means x upon L is going to be 12 upon 18, so 4 upon 6, and here the span is going to be 3 upon x upon whole span, so 3 upon 18 is going to be 1 by 6. And this was for the influence line diagram for the upper member U3 L3. Similarly we will draw the influence line diagram for the upper member U4 L4. So here while drawing the influence line diagram for the upper member U4 L4, what happens, see here, this is our vertical member U4 L4 and the influence line diagram will be from node L3 L5 and up to here L4. So I have already marked a point here. This is our L3 L5 and this is L4, means our peak or the apex of the influence line diagram will be at along the node L4. So draw the height here and join the line with L4 and L5. These are the differences, means you will notice the difference for drawing the influence line diagram in deck type bridge while in vertical member, while drawing the influence line diagram for the vertical member, and the height is going to be unity and this is positive. This much for the vertical member. Now time to draw the influence line diagram for the diagonal member. Now guys, let us draw the influence line diagram for the diagonal member U1 L2. Here it is in the diagram shown here. We are drawing the influence line diagram of the member U1 L2 and L2 is here. So we need to draw the we need to provide the peak of the influence line diagram below this L2. So it will be of this type. Here we go. Now simply join the lines. And we can calculate the height of this influence line diagram as, see here, this time it is going to be x upon L, and means we need to take the span from U7 to U2, and the span is 15 meter, so x is going to be 15 upon whole span is our 18, and this is going to be multiplied by cosec theta. Now here comes how to calculate the value of cosec theta. I have already shown in the previous video, and I am going to show again here. Show it here again. We have, this is angle theta, and this span is 3 meter. This span is 3 meter, and this is 4 meter. This is 3, this is 4, means we can easily calculate the value of theta, cosec theta, which is going to be root under 3 square plus 4 square divided by 4, because cosec theta is going to be, we have cosec theta equals to h upon p, and we can calculate the value of h equals to this base square plus perpendicular square, so 3 square plus 4 square divided by, our perpendicular is 3 meter. Sorry, we need to take this angle theta, this angle theta, this is not angle theta, this is theta, so our perpendicular is going to be 4 meter and base is our 3 meter. So we will have here p equals to 4 meter, and solving this we will get cosec theta equals to 5 upon 4. And guys, here while multiplying this with 15 by 18 with 5 by 4, we will get 25 by 24, and this is going to be the height of influence line diagram for the upper chord diagonal member U1 L2. Similarly, we will calculate the influence line diagram for other diagonal members that are U2 L3. So let us see how it is drawn. U2 L3. So guys, here again it happens that the our value of the load changes its sign from compressive to tensile in case of diagonal member U2 L3. So we have to draw the influence line diagram in both sides, in upward side also and downward side also, to show the change in load from compressive to tensile. And we can easily calculate the height of influence line diagram as x upon L, and then we will multiply it with cosec theta. So 3 upon 18, span from L1 to L2 is 3 meter upon L is whole span multiplied by cosec theta, and cosec theta is 5 upon 4, so we will get here 5 by 24. Similarly, again we will calculate this value, so remaining span is 12 divided by 18 multiplied by cosec theta is 5 by 4, we will get 5 upon 6. Sorry, for it was not visible. Now we need to draw the influence line diagram for the another diagonal member, that is U3 and L4. U3 and L4. This is the final in vertical member diagonal member whose influence line diagram we need to find here. And guys, while drawing the influence line diagram for U3 and L4, our value of loading again changes its sign from compressive to tensile. So here it is going to be U3 node and this is L4 node. Now join the influence line diagram and calculate the height of influence line diagram here. This node is our below the point L3 and this is our L4. So now calculating the height of influence line diagram, the value is going to be 6 upon 18, means x upon L multiplied by cosec theta 5 by 4, we get 5 upon 12. Similarly, this height is going to be 9 upon 18, means x upon L multiplied by 5 by 4, and we get final answer 5 by 8. This is the height of influence line diagram for the upper member, diagonal member U3 L4 for the deck type truss bridge. and I hope you enjoyed the today's lectures. See you in the next video. Till then, stay safe and take care of yourself. And guys, if you are enjoying the lectures on Civil Learning Online, then do subscribe this channel so that you will not miss any updates. Press the bell icon also.